So let's start getting with the stratagems. Stratagem 3 is killing with a borrowed knife. Turn an enemy's asset against him. Let the employee be the attack vector. Oh, how I love Google and Facebook and Twitter and MySpace. We already talked a lot about that, so I'm not going to go too much into details of it. I'll tell you what one of my favorite attacks are, though, okay? I love Facebook. You know why? I'm Kathy. I'm 26. I like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I play World of Warcraft, and it's like, you know what? It's like I work at the same company you do in another office, and it's like, and look, I've tagged myself in some pictures that you can't see the front of my face, but it's like I'm there, and it's like, you see that elbow? That's me. It's like I was at the company picnic. It was awesome. I've joined your fan book, and we're going to be friends. Awesome. You know what I'll do? It's like, I'll help you with your farm. You need a cow? I'm your guy. It's like, or gal. It's like, I'll kill that Don in Mafia Wars for you. It's like, I'll help you with all that stuff, you know, because we're friends. 2 weeks go by. Guess what happens? Oh my gosh. It's like the guy that I'm an assistant for, the CIO and stuff, you know, for this division, he's out in Aruba right now, and he doesn't have access to a system. He needs to get this email, and I need his network password and ID and stuff, you know, so I can log in and get this, or we're going to lose a $2 billion contract. You've got to help me reset his password so I can log in, or I'm in serious trouble. I'm going to lose my job. You got to do it. I mean, come on. I gave you those 3 cows in Farmville. I killed that Don for you, Mafia Wars. Does that not mean anything to you? Oh, you'll fix it? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Very helpful. So that's how you use Facebook. There's other things too. It's not just Facebook. We saw Please Rob Me. Here's evil, listing the phone numbers off of Facebook that people put out there. They're public phone numbers. We got I Can Stalk You, which reads the metadata from the photos like they were talking about from online. It's like, so we went through all that. What about this? Just search headed to, and I can get some stuff. So what I decided to do is, like, I like to be the bad guy. It's like, I like to go and say, what can I do that's evil? And it's like, what's the worst thing I can do? So I decided to do a search for Myloke on Twitter. Myloke that's totally not me, that's the screen. It's like, so can we change the contrast a little bit on that so it can be viewable? So what I did was I did a search on Twitter for Myloke, which is a BlackBerry Twitter client. And what that does is shows you your GPS coordinates. And this one is actually saying something important. It says something like teaching healthcare provider CPR at WAH. And that got me, the only reason why that got me was CPR, and I wanted to know what WAH was. So I checked Google, Washington Adventist Hospital. You know what else is near Washington Adventist Hospital? Walter Reed Hospital. It's where the president goes for a checkup every year. It's like, the go-to place for the president for health emergencies and stuff. So I was like, that's interesting. Who is this guy? He's got access. Because, when I want to do something bad, am I going to go in as Joe, the hot dog cart vendor?
Why's it got to be Joe?
Exactly. It's always Joe. I'm not going to go in as Joe, the t-shirt vendor. I'm not going to go in as Joe, the hot dog cart vendor. Definitely not going to go in as Joe, the web application tester, scary guy over there. It's like, I'm going to go in as a first responder. I'm going in as Joe, the fireman. Joe in the EMT. Because once again, are you going to be the jerk that doesn't let the fire department guy come in during an emergency situation and render aid to people that are in need? No. You're going to let them in. You're not going to check the credentials too much. But I need credentials. So who is this guy? Let's see who this guy is. This guy, everybody say hello to Steve. Steve Linchenberg. He's a volunteer EMT at GWGVFD, which is something voluntary fire department. He's Volunteer Fire Rescue Association, right here. Past, consultant at Northrop Grumman Mission Systems. A strong 20-year career in database design and development for Northrop Grumman. It's like, now that gets me thinking, that guy probably has top secret clearance. I want to meet Steve, because I'd like to take his identity and stuff. So where can I go to, quietly get rid of, Steve and assume his identity? It's like, I have to get him at his house. I can't just, get him at the coffee shop or the hospital, but I don't know where he lives. So that's going to cause a problem. Oh, wait, that's where he lives. Because he tweeted with his Myloke his actual home address. So now I can go there, kill Steve, assume his identity, and now I have access to Walter Reed Hospital, which, might be not beneficial for certain people in the government. So these have real world consequences. It's not just all fun. These can be serious and deadly. It's like, so people don't understand the information that they're giving out. I didn't out Steve. I mean, Steve probably doesn't appreciate the fact that he's being talked at in Malaysia at a hacking conference, but that wasn't my fault. He gave this out to the world already. I'm just showing you. So what else? We always like to, you notice that I use LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn because LinkedIn is the Facebook for corporations. It's like, here's a random place, Oklahoma. I'm in Oklahoma, so here's Oklahoma Energy. Here's the popular profiles. Oh, recruiting and placement. Of course, that's going to be the highest viewed profile because you want to get a job. What about here? Look at this. Lisa Cochran, Senior Deployment Analyst, was Senior Process Designer. But right here, Bill Bush, Manager HR Business Partners, was OD Consultant 4 months ago. So guess what? I'm Kathy. I'm an assistant to Bill Bush. We started 4 months ago, and I just became his assistant. And I've got this information, and I can start working with it. Their main cities that they work in, Oklahoma and Tulsa. If I'm attacking Tulsa, I come from Oklahoma. If I'm attacking Oklahoma, I come from Tulsa. Guess where I graduated? Well, I never graduated, but if I did, it would have been University of Oklahoma. That's because most of the people that are there graduate from Oklahoma University. So now I know my market profile. I know how to schedule my attack, how to get it very good and organized. I'm also going to be 37 years old and probably a male, which I can pull off pretty good once in a while. So now these are all users, and we're talking about the users, and we're talking about regular people, and we're thinking, well, they just don't know security. No, I don't believe that. It's not humans, it's not stupidity, it's just the way we are. It's the way we're built. Here's a good example of that. This is an actual website that you'd almost be able to see eventually at some point, called ratemynetworkdiagram.com. Like ratemynetworkdiagram.com. This is, I kid you not, where system administrators publish their network diagrams on the internet publicly for people to rate them if they're good or not. This guy rated this one, put this one out. IP addresses and other miscellaneous information has been removed. My supervisors would be quite unhappy with me if I provided the full diagram. Yeah, because they're not going to be unhappy with the fact that you left in STCS network server diagram for the Formus Building Synergy Business Park. And also the actual names and devices that you have. Yeah, they're not going to be upset with that at all. Oh, and the fact that, this is a hacking conference in Malaysia that is being presented at. Yeah, they're not going to be upset with that at all. Okay? This one, I kid you not, I actually researched for over 20 to 30 minutes on this one because I could not believe it worked. The Barty router system, this is their external IP addresses. They're real, live, external IP addresses. Pinged them, did a who is, I couldn't believe it. I did all that, okay, to guarantee. That's their external IP addresses. This is their radware. They're telling me what kind of load balancer they're using. Thank you very much. They're telling us about the PIX 515Cs that they're using. I really appreciate that. Their WebSense server, we know where that's located. What's the worst part about this whole slide? It just makes me, once again, cry a little bit inside. Those are their actual internal IP addresses. They actually publish their external and internal IP addresses on the internet. That can't end badly, can it? That's going to end very badly for somebody. I really. And now, guys, I don't want y'all to use this maliciously. Okay, we're ethical hackers, so when you're grabbing this information, please take a chance to rate their diagram. Okay, make sure you give it a fair rating. Okay, I don't want you to just, lowball it and stuff. It's like, be nice. Okay, so let's go to the next strategy.